Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the day of the video. Darren, how's it going today? Today we are back home. It's night time. It's actually 8 o'clock at night. Just put my lights on because it's too dark to vlog. But we haven't vlogged any other point today, so we're going to start now. Unlike most days, I actually have quite a lot to talk to you about. What the hell is going on? I got up this morning. We had one more day of going in early. Tomorrow we're going in at 8. So nice and simple. Having said that though, I kind of completely forgot that we were going in early, and I left here at like almost 5 minutes after I said I was going to meet him. So I was like, shit. Got there. There's no traffic though. I'm assuming because it's Easter, or maybe it literally just gets like slightly trafficky at past. But if you can leave before past, it's fine. We got to work for 2:45 due to lack of traffic thereof, as previously mentioned, and we sat down to do some stuff. Firstly, we went into the tail end of a planning session. Yes, after our planning session yesterday, which was 10 minutes long and took all day. We had the tail end of it. It wasn't finished yet, and literally like 30 minutes in, an hour in, probably just over 30 minutes in, I flipped. I was the hand grenade of the group, and I went off. Everyone was like toying over like what kind of task we should do, like how we should split up all the tasks and stuff, and I'm like, well, what they wanted to do was set up a task for every single mapper in the populators we're going to be creating, and there's going to be a lot of them. The way they were talking, there was originally going to be 137, a mapper for each and every single field, but there isn't. There's going to be less than that, but there's going to be a few. So I first went, who wants to go into TFS now and type up 137 tasks, user stories, sorry, tasks, and then 137 testing tasks to go with them? No? Okay. It's a ridiculous idea. And then it just kind of, everyone was starting to argue about it, and I just flipped, and I was just like, right guys, this is how I see this, yeah? We've got tasks for the populators. We don't know how many mappers we're going to need for each and every single one. We could probably take an educated guess, or we could go through and read the files. But what does that matter? We've got a task, create a populator. Do you consider that populator done? You don't go create a populator, oh, sweet, there we go, we've got an empty populator, trollololol. No, you don't consider it a populator until it actually populates something. And the thing it uses to populate things is mappers. So I just assume that if it says create populator, then you include the mappers in there. And if it's not implicit enough, then write the words with mappers on the thing, and then we just have one task in, and then just make it a big one instead of loads of tiny ridiculous ones. And then everyone was like, because literally we was having debates about this for a good 30 minutes. I'm not shitting you, it was a long ass time. And I flipped, and then everyone was like, can hear. I'm like, oh, no one else say anything. Jesus. I'm just getting more and more wound up with the fact that we've got a broken build. There's issues with the build. There's issues with this. We've got this to work on, and we're spending longer in dev time planning the populators than I spent creating the populators for the admittedly smaller aggregator. So, yeah, I blew off the handle a little bit, but I sped along proceedings. Everyone agreed with me. So it's kind of weird because I do feel like, if not the driving force, then one of the lead driving forces in the way we're doing things, because I did the aggregator, so I'm like the guy. I'm like, I'll just be like, when we did it on this, we did this, and it just kind of goes, you know. Fuck's sake, why do I always leave that bloody light on? That's why my electricity bill's through the roof. Oh god, I've got hiccups too. Oh dear. So after that, we were working through some stuff. I was fixing things that other people had checked in and didn't really care enough about to then do. Like, they'd make a couple of changes, check it in. Oh no, they'd realise that it was breaking unit tests or tests, and then they just check it in anyway. Just comment out the unit tests. YOLO. I'd fix like style cop bugs because people didn't even have style cop installed on their computer, even though it's a company-wide standard that we've had for years. And I taught people how to do unit tests because they're like how they considered a unit test to be was ridiculous. They basically used one test to prove that the other test was working fine without ever proving that one of them was okay. No, you test the unit on its own, completely on its own. Jesus. And so, therefore, when we were doing the old bloody trying to assert things. It was a nightmare. And he was like, but why is that an issue? And I just made them both return null. And then there you go, there's your issue, because that passes. But if you check that onto the build server, or the deployment server, or whatever, it would just fall the hell over. So, there was that. It's been a fun day. It's been a fun day. I've basically been cleaning up other people's messes all day long. Which is great, really. It's great fun. Because then they seem to get just like super excited by all this other stuff and go off and do that. And meanwhile, they can't do the really basic stuff. And because I'm doing the really basic stuff, because I require a green build, like a proper green build, not this fake pseudo green that we've got because we've commented out all the tests. Because I require that green build to do deployment work, I can't bloody do the deployment work. Zen. But yeah, so that's that really. That was my fun day at work today, but it's actually quite funny. I think people are starting to notice the frustrations I've had with people, and I don't know whether they always noticed, but it wasn't until like I came along and exaggerated it by being like a lot faster and better. Oh, dairy, say better, dairy. So but yeah, so it's kind of awkward, to be honest with you. But what else then? We headed on home. Came back and it was summer. I had the windows open. I had my music playing from here. I had burgers, chips and beans. It felt like I was going to work again. I used to have that nearly every Saturday when I'd go to work for 8 hours. I'd always have either that or like fish or cheese. Always have something and beans on toast, or chicken and beans on toast. No, chicken and chips or something like that. It was delicious. But yeah, so we went through. My breath, boys. Went through that, came back here, cooked, and since then, in the time it took me to get home, I've picked my honeymoon holiday. YOLO. And it's mildly expensive, but set my heart on it now, so we're gonna have to do it, aren't we? We've got like however many years it's in our plan to save up for it. But let's just say it's about the price of the most expensive Apple Watch yet. YOLO! The swaggins. But yeah, it's 2 weeks though, and it's bloody nice. But yeah, that's about all, to be honest with you, so far. I need to shave because, quite frankly, I look like Santa. Oh man. I've got like assorted things to do. What my plan is tonight, to be honest with you, is do some blogging on my laptop in Bedaroo. That's my plan there. I'm excited for it as well, man. Oh no, look there. Look at this hand here, Jesus. Actually, I remember, I was going to end the video, but I've just remembered what I was going to tell you about yesterday. I didn't write a description for yesterday, and I've just remembered that as well. Because last night, from about 10 o'clock, I got wrapped into a debate. There isn't even really a debate. It's not a debate in point. It's not a case in argument here, right? I got wrapped into, I've got an uncle who likes his conspiracy theories. He likes them quite a bit. And every now and again, his bullshit just appears on my Facebook page. And to be fair, every 2 weeks or so, I'll have a scroll down. It's quite funny. But he made a comment on a thread about the conspiracy theory that the Earth is a plane and it's flat, and that NASA and science is covering up the fact that it's flat, because by doing that, this is the main crux of the reason, because if you pull it back from the way that it's if you say, it's a sphere, then you have automatically, it's very easy to disprove God and disprove a load of religions and shit. Because if we're just a ball in the middle of space, then it's harder to prove that we have a God compared to if we were a flat plane that everything else revolved around. And firstly, there's a lot of people commenting on this as well. I don't need to be. I'm not really taking a side here. No. Let's take a bloody side, right? If any of you believe the Earth is flat, then I don't know why you're here. I genuinely don't know what I offer you. You fucking hell. The screws have to be loose, right? There has to be a certain number of screws loose in order to deal with this kind of shit. Right. Okay. So, right. They came up, and then I scrolled down, and some guy was bounding around some. Like my uncle was saying that I'm all up for a conspiracy theory, but I just don't understand why they'd lie about it. Hence why I found out that reason behind disproving God. And then there's someone said, if you don't believe it, Carl, prove it yourself. Right? You can go outside your house. There we go. And if you walk 1 mile, then you would have dropped 8 inches. Okay, 8 inches. That was the figure that he bounded about. Right, okay, 8 inches, which is what, just over, it's not even a foot, is it? I don't know metrics. 8 inches is what, 15 and a bit centimetres, 20 centimetres-ish, maybe? That's if you walk 1 mile. If you walk another mile, the amount that you've decreased from your original starting point has increased, quote, exponentially. So, if you were to walk 5 miles, you've dropped 16 feet. Even though each one of those miles is only 8. Assuming we're obviously on a perfect sphere, which we're not, but we'll imagine we're at the fucking equator or something. I don't know. So that's the theory. And I was like, right, okay. As much as I hate arguing with idiots, I am genuinely intrigued into how the hell he's pulled these numbers, what crevice he's pulled these numbers out of. Because my God, right? So I go down and I sit and I do some maths, and I've got the maths. Look at this. This is a page of maths as I'm trying to figure out the general statistics until I realise that there's just a really basic formula you could use. But I did the maths here, look, and I'm crunching the numbers, and because obviously miles, the Earth is pretty fucking big, and 6 miles in relation to the circumference is jack all, is nothing, and so basically what I did was, I went to the length of calculating, okay, if I'm here, then if you're going 6 miles away along the circumference of the Earth, then you have gone a 2.4 times by 10, 2.4 times by 10 to the minus 4, no, 0.024, sorry, so 2.4 times by 10 to the minus 2% around the Earth if you were to go from the radius, from the centre. Calculated that out to be a percentage in degrees, and it turns out to be 0.08 degrees of a circle, which is friggin' small. Did a load of fancy trigonometry to figure out that the difference between going directly here is, that's the difference between going directly, which works out at about 10 inches. For your metric people, or whatever it is, or 26 centimetres. What? That can't be right, can it? 26 centimetres? Oh no, 26 is 12 inches, isn't it, in a 30 centimetre ruler? I'm thinking 15 centimetres. If I ever measure anything in inches, I always think of it in a 15 centimetre ruler, or I don't do inches. I'm a centimetres man. However, I'm a miles person, not kilometres, so that's a weird one, isn't it? Hence why all of this is in miles, even though it should technically be in kilometres. More. Anyway, so I go through, and then I realise that actually there's just a straight up, nice and easy formula that you can use for the height dropped, so to speak, so that you can have the height of your what's it called? Sector arc? No, sector arc radius chord. The height of the chord. And it is simply h equals the radius multiplied by 1 minus cos of theta over 2. So half of your 0.08 degrees. 1 minus cos times by the radius of the Earth, which is 3,963.1676. And you would drop after 6 miles. I don't know why we said 6 miles. Oh, I didn't even write it on this piece of paper. How lazy. Did I write it on that piece of paper? No. Where did I write it down? 6 miles, you would drop 1.82 metres, which is purely backed up by maths. And the reason why this guy thought that it's... In fact, I've probably lost the picture, to be honest with you. But the theory is, if you're 6 miles away on a boat, according to him, you wouldn't be able to see a 3-foot tall boat because even though you can see a 3-foot tall boat, you wouldn't be able to see it because it would be curved below the Earth. So I physically proved that no, you would still be able to see it. Or maybe a 1.2. You wouldn't anyway because fucking the horizon's 3 miles away. So good luck, mate. So it's it's a bloody party. So anyway, I like go through the maths. I figure it all out, and I'm like, right, sweet. Message my uncle, like, by the way, mate, don't be a muppet. Don't be dragged into this weird cult that's going on over here. Here's the maths, here's the reasons, here's the steps. And then I emailed the guy that... emailed him, because I'm a legend. Emailed the guy that was talking about this, pulling out this 8 inches exponential thingy stuff out of his arse. And I go through it with him, and he keeps coming out with these stupid figures and stupid calculations. Not once debunking my maths. If any of you can debunk my maths, by the way, I'm more than welcome to you to challenge me on it. But no one's debunked it so far. Meanwhile, Carl's gone off and posted this on this huge thread, and loads of people are arguing about it, and not one person has disproved the maths. So I'm pretty well. To be fair, they're not the brightest bunch of people, so I doubt they'd ever would. But yeah, no one's disproved the maths, but there's things like, because he was saying like, oh, I did my space mission, and I took a photo, and you can see the curvature of the Earth, but it's a GoPro, and the school probably picked the GoPro because of the lens, because it makes things look curvy. Hey, hey, they probably would if I didn't pick the lens, because GoPros are one of the only cameras that can handle that kind of temperature reliably and relatively cheaply. And if the parachute were to fail, it would drop like a bloody rock, and a GoPro has a better chance of surviving than you would. For example, if I were to send you up, you would be decimated. So that's the reason we picked a GoPro. I picked a GoPro. They wanted to use HD flip cam. So let's just be clear about that. But no, obviously all of the schools are in on it as well, because everyone's been brainwashed from an early age about the flatness or the curvature of the Earth, so to speak. And they are still arguing on this thread. It's a huge thread of people just talking about how, like, all of this stuff. And it's... one of them turned around and said you can't use maths designed for a circle on a sphere because is a square a cuboid? No. Yeah, if we assume we're on the equator, moron. All of your maths is assuming a straight line, so I'm assuming we're working in 2D space here. If you want to go for spherical maths, mate, by all means do the maths yourself. But we can model, if we stand on the equator, we can model it as a circle, right? Happy days. Oh, God. And they are just so thick. And the problem is, like, my uncle, like, really wants to fucking try and beat them. Like, you can't deal with that. You can't show reason. You can't show any kind of mathematical proof. Honestly, the only reason I did this was because I wanted to see how he picked out 8 inches. I genuinely just wanted to see how, because it doesn't make sense. Like, it completely baffled me. I literally proved it by mathematical induction that what you are saying is wrong, and 2, there's what actually happens. So, I just... my moral is, and I have this opinion quite a lot, is don't wade into arguments on the internet. That's my advice. For people who are on the internet, don't wade into arguments with people, because it's not worth it, because I can guarantee you they're more stupid than you. And they won't give up. Especially, well, not everyone's stupid, but some people are very, very, very stupid. So, yeah, that's the way of life, really, isn't it? God damn. But the things they're pulling out their arse, essentially. They've brought out some stuff that Aristotle says, a general rule of thumb, yeah, if you back up an argument with Aristotle's name, you're instantly wrong, because Aristotle, while he's famous, was wrong about everything he said, ever. I don't think Aristotle was right about anything, actually. Can anyone prove from it? Anyone debunk that for me? I don't think he was right by modern standards on anything, whereas plenty of other people around the time were. But yeah, I spent 2 hours last night, like, just going through the numbers, getting it all right, sending it up. This guy now, the guy that was wrong, his name's Paul, he's blocked me. So obviously I was trying to brainwash him, but he's blocked me for showing him the way, showing him the brainwashing side of the world and how it's not actually a globe, it's actually a flat plane. But no, I strongly recommend it. It's it's fun every now and again. Just go for a bit of a Google and look around some conspiracy theories. And it turns out a pretty good one to look through is the flat Earth one. Flat Earth versus spherical Earth. It's quite entertaining. It's kind of entertaining unless you start to like worry about the future existence of humankind. But yeah, there we go. Look, it's like legitimately like there's just a picture of the sunset. Look, there's a picture of a sunset there, and look at the comments. Look at all of these comments. Oh god, I do adore people. Yeah, it's a party. It's a party in the park. Oh god. But anyway, yeah, I thought I'd talk about that as well because I'm going to write the description for yesterday's video too. So, but I'll just defer that into this video, I guess. Right, I'm going to get going because it's 9:30, and I've got 2 video descriptions and whatnot to write. And to be fair, we've had quite a productive video today, haven't we? We talked about several things. We talked about flat Earth and its impossibilities. Oh, there's one more thing to throw in there, right? I haven't done my sandwiches. It's my sandwiches as well. One more thing to throw in there. I'm having pizza tomorrow. That's why I was like, am I having pizza? No. One more thing to throw in there as well. Right, let's assume that NASA made up the fact that it's a round Earth. Right? Now let's pretend. Let's play fucking fairy tales and pretend. Right? Then why would they pick? Because it's very easy for me to calculate the radius and for me to say that actually that far it's going to be only 6. You're only going to drop a meter, right? If they were going to go, oh damn the Earth, man, we're going to pretend it's flat because fuck religion, right? Yeah, everyone agreed. Yeah. Right, sweet. Okay, so go on, guys. Arbitrary circumference. What are we going for? Boys? Come on. So someone in there went, what should we go? Should we go for circumference, say 25,000 miles? Yeah, fuck it, let's do that. No, if you're going to make it up, you would make that circle as massive as possible. You would go, oh shit, it's a globe. So it's kind of awkward. Shall we tell everyone that it's 100 miles in circumference? Because then the maths becomes even... No, you'd make it smaller. You'd make it smaller, wouldn't you? You'd say, oh yeah, it's only 10,000 miles. You know? Because then the maths means, yeah, it would be frigging going well down really, really quickly. And no, they would want a massive circle. I'm chasing myself around in circles here. You'd want a huge circle so that all these people who have proved the fact that the Earth's flat, and everyone's an idiot for not believing that it's flat, all of their crazy theories that are only true or only even remotely close to being like provable, either because of the way that light interacts with air as it comes through the atmosphere, or because the grand scale of things is bloody hard to prove things and the maths is mental. If they were to pick a huge circle, then all of these people would be like, well, it kind of, yeah, I mean, like, it's pretty big, this thing we're stood on, so it must curve. Why would they pick such a small ball if they're gonna pretend it's flat? You need to pick a massive one. God. So ran over, I think. Like I say, I've got to make my sandwiches. Oh, to-do list sandwich. Yesterday's video, I'm going to rearrange that to make sure it's dry. I think it's all dry, but I'm going to do a wash tomorrow. Purely because then I can get more whites in it, basically. I think it's basically dry there. And then I'm going to get into bed with my blog. And I might just blog about it. This might be a topic for my blog. I think maybe, possibly. To be fair, I've started quite a few blogs and just like half finished them. I should really finish them, but I'm probably going to put this on my plan. But yeah. Right, thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Let's debate in the comments, shall we, about the possibilities of a flat Earth. I'll catch you later.